Hello dear viewers, welcome to this video. In this video we will see how to build fixed asset roll forward. Before that, let's revise some main points from our previous video. In our previous video, in video number 46, we discussed about these drivers of balance sheet, about DSO, DPO, DIO, other assets as a percentage of revenue and other liabilities as percentage of revenue. Based on the data we have from historical year, starting from 2019 to 2021, we calculate the historical values for all these drivers of balance sheet, and then by taking their average, we calculated the forecasted growth of each one of this driver, DCO, DPO, DIO. So in the coming 5 years, from 2022, from 2022 to 2026, by how much percent DSO, which is days sales outstanding, will be increased or will be growing. So we have hypothesized it by taking the average growth of the last 3 years. And then by using this growth percentage, we calculated trade receivables for each forecasted year for 2022, for 2023, for 2024. We calculated based on the forecasted growth uh, rate of DCI, DPI, and DIO. Before coming to actually start our today's point, I would like to correct something from our previous video, which I have made a mistake. If you see here, column C and the column D, you see the values are the same. I mean, the total sum of assets and total sum of liabilities and equities in both years are the same, 948, 948, 948. So this was done by mistake. I made a mistake in this case. How that mistake was happened? It's because in this case, in column C, we took 2020. Again, in column D, we took the same year data. That means we have not taken for the data of 2019. So instead of taking data of 2019, we took 2020 data twice. So we have to undo this by two means. I mean, we have two alternatives to correct this mistake. The first means, or the first way to correct this mistake is, as I showed you in our previous video. If you remember, those who have been following me, we have two options to correct this. The first one is we select this column, this area, and then, for example, if you click here, you see 2020, 2020, 2020. So if we read this formula has come from 2020, which is this one, and then it took all page in this in 2020. That means we selected all the entire workspace of 2020. That's why you see here um, this reference. So we have to change this 2020 to 2019. As I said, we have two options. The first option is select this area, go to Home tab, and go to Find and Replace. So in a Find and Replace, you write 2020 and then change it or replace it with 2019. And then if I click on Replace All, it replaces all 2020, which is written in the formula in this column, and replace it with 2019. Let me replace it all. And we have made 31 replacement. Okay. And then I close it. So you see here it is 932.1, 932.1, which shows both asset side and liabilities and equity side are the same. How can we be sure that this figure is correct? We can be sure by checking the total sum of assets in 2019. Have this in your mind, which is 932.1. Go to total asset here. You see the total asset is 932.1. 932.1. So we can easily correct this kind of mistake by going to find and replace option. The other option is we can click on the sales like this, and then you keep changing this year. You keep changing this year to 2020. Now we have already changed it. We have already changed it. So that's why you see it 2019. So uh, if it was not changed, you can just click on it and then you replace 2020 by 2019 as we have already done it. That's it. Now let's proceed to building fixed asset roll forward, because we have here items which are not yet completed in our forecast period. We have forecasted how much trade receivables will be growing, how much inventory will be growing, and other assets also. We are left with some difficult items in both balance sheet and P&L statement, P&L statement. From balance sheet, you see we haven't calculated for PP and E and for cash. In the same way, from even we haven't calculated for financial liabilities. We will work on it. We haven't calculated for equity. We will work on it later, not in this video. And again, in P&L statement, we haven't forecasted for depreciation. If you see here, we haven't forecasted for depreciation. We haven't forecasted for interest expense and taxes. So these are our remaining tasks. Now let's directly go to or start from PP and E. PP and E. So we first go to have or create a new worksheet here. A new worksheet dedicated only for fixed assets. Yes, I like to do like this. The professionals call it fixed asset, fixed assets roll forward. So this shows how much fixed assets will be growing or will be depreciated in the coming or in the forecasted period. So I go to merge and center, yes, and then I want to identify or make it unique a little bit. Yeah, that's okay now. All right, now let's bring the format from balance sheet for us. We can use this balance sheet format since we are going to forecast for all the years we have here. So I copy paste it here. There is no enough space, that's why it's showing this sign. By now it's okay. So we have this format we have already copy pasted from our balance sheet statement. As you know, in the fixed assets component, we have always in the beginning PP&E, beginning PND, and then depreciation and amortization, then comes capex, then comes ending PPND. Is that right sign? No, this one, right? So I want to differentiate the last item here with the sales style I have already created in my last video. Yeah, we have this sales style from last video. I have already shown you this last time. So let me go for this style. This style is a little bit dark, but we can change it, no problem. No feeling. All right. So this is how it looks. Now what we are going to do is that we will bring historical data. We will bring historical data for beginning PPE, depreciation amortization. Here I need to improve, correct this. All right. Yes. Now for 2020, I mean for 2019, we do not have beginning PPE because the beginning PPE for 2019 is the ending PPE for 2018. So we don't have historical data for 2018. So we will not calculate the historical or the historical beginning PPE for 2019. But we can start from 2020. So we have ending PPE for 2019, which is equal to, we take this PPE for 2019 from balance sheet, which is this one, So I will click on it, then enter. So this value is from balance sheet C6, balance sheet C6. This is 6, round number 6, column 6. So in the same way, we do the remaining parts. But when you come to 2020, we know the ending PPE for 2019. The ending PPE for 2019 is the beginning PPE for 2020. So I click on equal sign, and then I link this one to the ending PPE for 2019 equal. Interesting. And we also know depreciation and amortization, D&A for 2020. And we get this D&A from income statement, P&L statement here. I go to 2020, depreciation and amortization, which is here. So I click on it. I click on it, enter. I think I didn't press equal sign here. Yes, equal sign. And then I go to P&L statement, and then equal sign. Just select it, and then enter. So I may need to change the format for this cell. I want it to be under bracket. So I want to go for format cell, and a format cell, I go to number, and I want it to be in bracket. So that it is known as a negative value. All right. We also know the ending value for 2020. The ending value for 2020 PPE is again from balance sheet. Here, 2020, this column, and then I'm going to take this value. So before that, I have to click on equal sign, I go to balance sheet, and then I take this value for 2020. And then we are left with one unknown variable here, which is capex, or capital expenditure. So we simply calculate capital expenditure by subtracting beginning PP&E and D&A from ending PP&E. So click on it, minus, click on it, minus, click on it, close the bracket maybe. You don't need to close the bracket, just enter. So in this way, we have already calculated capex. You can easily check this from the balance sheet, because it's already there in the balance sheet, the ending PP&E, which is a report in the balance sheet for 2020. You see this one. So we continue this. We take this value, which is the ending PP&E for 2020, as the beginning PP&E for 2021. Click. And then we know the depreciation for 2021. Depreciation can be obtained from P&L statement here. 2021, this one. I have to click equal sign, and I come here, P&L statement, and then I take D&A for 2021, which is set 7 million. That's it. And then we also know the ending balance, for 2021 from balance sheet. The ending balance is this one, 659.5. So I have to click on here, and I go to balance sheet, and then I have to indicate that this is my ending balance for 2021. And then in the same way, we calculate capex, the ending PP&E minus depreciation and amortization minus beginning PP&E equal this one. So in this way, we simply calculate the capital expenditure. Capital expenditure is positive because it increases the PP&E balance, because capex is new acquisition. It shows new acquisition, newly acquired assets, newly purchased assets. When new equipment properties are purchased, it increases the total balance of PP&E, property, plant, and equipment. So that's why we leave it positive. Whereas depreciation and amortization, it pushes down the value of PP&E. When the service year of PP&E increases, its value decreases. So that's why we put it in the negative number. All right. Having said this, now we are going to calculate depreciation and amortization as a percentage of beginning PP&E, and also capex as a percentage of beginning PP&E. That will help us to forecast the future PP&E for the forecasted period. So here I write D&A, which is depreciation and amortization, as a percentage of beginning PP&E, and capex as percentage of beginning PP&E. That's it. I want to share this with gray background, just to identify it from other space. Yes. All right. So for us to calculate D&A as a percentage of uh, beginning PPNDE, we have beginning PPNDE here, we have D&E here. So we will use this value here, but in this case we don't need to calculate this. We can put this uh, in this way. I mean, because we are not going to calculate for this 2020 2019. So what we are going to do is for 2020 and 2021, how much was depreciation and amortization as a percentage of beginning PPNDE in these 2 years, 2020 and 2021. The formula is very simple. To calculate the percentage, we divide depreciation and amortization balance by beginning PPNDE. Here you are. So in the same way, you can simply drag the formula to the right, and here we go. For capex as a percentage of beginning PPNDE, we have capex for 2020. We divide it by the beginning PPNDE, and then we can simply paste the formula to the right. If you click here, you can check it whether you are right or wrong. It takes the value E8. E is this, 8 is this one. So the value here is 64 divided by E6. E element 6 is around 6 here. So it divided 64 by 662.5. So we can put these all rows in percentage, since we are talking in percentage. All right, now we have already calculated the historical growth of depreciation and amortization and capex as a percentage of beginning PPNE. Here we have one more hypothesis to do. We know that the ending balance of PPNDE in 2021 is the beginning balance for 2022. So let's link this thing. So if you click here, you see that it is taken from column E, row 9. And this is the ending PPNDE for 2022 is the summation, right? Summation, the summation of all the 3 items equal. So we are going to calculate depreciation and amortization and capex based on the expected growth. Based on the expected growth, we are going to forecast here. So in the same way, we can copy paste this formula to the remaining years, and then we can also link this one to other years here. You see here, the ending PPNDE for 2022 is the beginning PPNDE for 2023. So we can simply copy paste this formula to other years. All right. So this value will change when we calculate depreciation and amortization and capex. Now we can simply calculate or forecast D&E and the capex by taking average of these 2 years. The average of these 2 years is -6% for D&E, and for capex, the average of 2 years is 9%. So we expect that in the coming 5 years, capex or the capital expenditure of a company will constantly increase by 9%. So to calculate this, we have so many options. We can simply write here -6. Since this average is -6, we can write -6 in all the forecasted years. In this case, plus 9%. Since the average is 9%, we can write them manually, or we can simply calculate average automatically, which is always recommended. And then I fix here a column so that I should not move when I copy paste it to the right and down to other row. So I can easily copy paste it to other years. In the same manner, I can copy paste to other row below, which is for capex. So we are going to use these hypothesized values or percentage of D&E and the capex to calculate their value. So now we can simply calculate depreciation and amortization in 2022 by simply taking the percentage we have calculated here and the beginning PP&E in 2022. Equal sign, take this one and multiply it with the beginning PP&E. That's it. And we can simply drag this formula to remaining years. Great. Coming to capex, in the same way, we take the percentage of capex against beginning PP&E in 2022, which is 9%. That means we expect the capital expenditure of company will be increased by 9% in 2022. And then we multiply this 9% by the beginning PP&E. That's it. So if we copy paste the formula to remaining years, the value will be like this. So we may need to remove this decimals. Yes. That's it. So this is how we calculate D&E, capex, and then finally ending PP&E. You can check it here. If you click here, it shows that this value is from G9. G is column and 9 is row here, which is 674. If you click here, it shows that it is from H9, which is the ending PP&E of 2023. If you click here, which is the beginning PP&E for 2025, and it shows you I9. I is this one, 9 is this row, 703, the ending PP&E of 2024, which has become the beginning PP&E for 2025. So in this way, we calculate the fixed asset roll forward, or we build a fixed asset roll forward. Then what is remaining now is we have to connect these values that we have calculated here with the items in balance sheet and P&L statement. In balance sheet, as we have discussed it, we didn't calculate or we didn't forecast PP&E for 5 years. So we have to fill up now PP&E and yes, PP&E here especially. So equal sign, I take it from here, which is this one, the ending PP&E for 2022, and then I say equal. So you see here, this 674 is from fixed asset rolling, reference G9, reference G9, G column, row 9, 674. So if I drag this formula, it takes all the values in the same row here. You see 6886 703 718 733. So you see it took all the ending PPNDE for the forecasted years. Now we have already forecasted by how much our PPNDE will be changing in the coming 5 years. Great. Now let's also put depreciation. Depreciation. You know, depreciation is a part of expense, and it is forecasted in P&L statement. So I will be taking this depreciation values to P&L statement. The P&L statement we have here has depreciation which is not yet forecasted. So equal sign, this is for 2022, equal sign, I go to fixed asset rolling, and then I click here, and then enter. So in the same way, I drag to the right. It takes all the values from this sheet, minus 43, minus 44, minus 45, minus 46. It takes from this sheet. You see, interesting. But what we need to do here is, I didn't do the comma sales here for this one to make it similar with others. So in this way, we calculate depreciation, amortization, capex, ending PPNDE for the historical years and for the forecasted years. And also we calculate the percentage growth of D&E and capex against beginning PPNDE in this manner. I hope you have learned something new, and by this time our P&L statement is being filled, and only two items are remaining, which is interest expense and taxes. And from balance sheet items, we are left with cash and equity. So we'll be working on these remaining items in the coming videos. Stay tuned. Thank you for your attention and time. If you have any question, you can write in the comment section. Bye bye.